Hey, this is Brian again, and I'd like to ask you to do a favor. We can't do this work without people like you, so if you can, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about Bring Back the Porch.
Community coming together, and if there's anything that I know, Medicine Hat knows how to do that. And so I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up going to a whole new level, because I know we live in a community that people are just ready to jump and help and support. So nothing is impossible in Medicine Hat, and I think we have something to prove here. We can do it. So
This episode of Bring Back the Porch brought to you by Bernie Leahy, River Street Realty. Let's get you home.
Welcome to Bring Back the Porch, and I would just like to say to all our listeners and viewers, thank you for joining us. If you have not subscribed, please take the time to push that button and subscribe to Bring Back the Porch. I'm very excited to have our guests Davey and Yusuf from the Canada Day Festival Committee. Welcome to the porch.
thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you for having us. We actually have like what's the actual name for our committee?
It's a mouthful.
Oh, Yusuf, I think you have it memorized, don't you?
It's the Canada Day and Cultural Society, something like that.
And it's 2 days, right? June 30th and July 1st.
That's
Yes.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to break it up into days so we can talk about both parties, because there's a lot of things going on, which is super exciting because for a lot of people, it's the end of school and they're looking for things to do that first weekend. And it's a great time to celebrate Canada and Canadians anyway. So we've got June 30th, we've got events going on. Yusuf, tell us what's happening on June 30th.
Yeah, so on June 30th, it's actually something that we're all excited about. You know, just to 2 years ago, or this is going to be our third year. We wanted to kind of create something for the community that is a party that people come from, all ages, different cultures, and let's celebrate, the different people we have in our community and all the different cultures. So I remember, Davey, remember when we were talking about how we got together in the boardroom and we're talking about how we want to create a party. And we had this picture of, imagine your favorite uncle's, wedding, where all the people that you love, your family.
A big wedding dance party, man.
Yeah, your cousins, the kids, and everyone is just having a good time. And so the first year we did that, and I mean, we had over 5,000 that first year.
Yeah.
At Kincooley, and it's all generations. And so that's kind of what June 30th, we envisioned for June 30th. And it would start around that 5 o'clock with different crafts, cultural crafts. This year we're partnering with Brenda Mercer, the White Horse Rider. I hope I got that name right.
Yep.
And
Just another project I have on the go.
Yeah, that's right. Davey's involved with that. Him and Brenda and a bunch of others in the community building all these teepees. And so we're hoping that, we can set it up in Kincooley, create like a teepee village. There's going to be an elder there. Right now we're talking about even elders from other cultures, and this is part of Brenda's vision to have different cultures represented in the teepee, and some, indigenous teaching taking place, but also learning about people from different parts of the world. There's going to be cultural crafts as well. There's going to be ethnic food, so you can come and taste food from all over the world, and so many different activities. Then when the evening starts, we have do you want to talk about the bands and some of the fun that will take place that night?
Okay, yeah. So obviously we need to keep those rowdy, mischievous skateboarders busy that evening.
Yeah, for sure.
So we usually, every year, it's turning into these traditions, and that's what's cool is people from all over are looking forward to this now. Skateboarders from all over are looking forward to this now. This is a nationwide thing at this point. So the night before, they're skateboarders, they're getting warmed up, trying to get their lines in for the day after at Beat the Heat skateboard competition. So they're getting warmed up, but then we have this big game of skate for money. And skate is the equivalent of horse. When you play horse with basketball, that's what the game of skate is like. So you do a trick and the other guy tries to emulate it. And if he fails, he gets a letter. So we have that, for money, but then there's spectators hanging out. And then we have a bunch of punk bands playing. you know, because
Are they local bands or are they from all over?
Yeah, they're local bands, and then maybe we'll get some homies from Calgary or Lethbridge. You know, we try to, you know, mix in, different bands and people from all over.
What time does the music start?
So yeah, right before we kick things off across the creek. So we try to make this symbiotic thing, you know, where as soon as everything's ended, like that punk show's ended, everyone goes over and they crosses the creek, and then things kick off at that cultural stage. Yeah. And let me tell you, it's just this crazy, cool glow stick rave dance party.
Yeah.
And who doesn't like a glow stick?
Last year, I'll say this. Last year, we made an impact by having Medicine Hat's first drone show.
Yeah.
Which was neat. I can say I was a part of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This year, we're going to do something crazy too. Okay.
Yeah.
We're getting crazier and crazier every year.
Crazier in a good way. You're gonna keep
whatever helps you sleep at night, Yusuf. Yeah. Whatever helps you sleep at night. Yeah.
So I want to ask about the glow sticks, because do people bring their own, or can they get them there, or they donated
we give them out
by
for
somebody?
free, man.
We give them out. Yeah. So and I mean, these are things that are made possible by sponsors, which we would love to talk about.
Yes, tell me about your sponsors.
I mean, it's all the events that we describe, you know, from the glow sticks to the drone show to the cultural festivals and all the fun things. Last year, by the way, Davey, we had over 8,000 last year. So first year, over 5,000.
For that first night.
You know, first night. And so we're talking June 30th. So, you know, it's supported by sponsors. We can't do it. The tech support, all of that. So we have different tiers that, you know, people can partner with us and be a sponsor. We have so many different levels of advertising as well, you know, that people can be promoted.
Where do you start, right?
Yeah.
You have banners over on that Kipling street fence, right? And so people are driving by and seeing your banners. You have, we're going to have LED screens with sponsorship on those LED screens. We're going to have, you know, as far as, you know, there's the people movers. There's so many different title sponsorships that are available. And the reality is we want local businesses to be a part of this. We want to be able to say, when we're putting when we're making Medicine Hat a mark on the map, we want to be able to say, hey, these local businesses, they're the ones that make this happen.
And
What's been the response, though, when you've talked to local businesses? Are they excited about what you guys are doing, or?
You want to?
No, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I'm sweating right now because I was just walking around all over downtown in North Railway, and I was over in the flats. I'm just, you know, handing out these sponsorship letters to local businesses, and you know, we have different sponsorship packages. We have the Canada Day side, you know, over in Kinkuli, and then we have the skateboard competition side. And it's funny, it's I don't know. I blinked and I feel like 20 years went by. This is our 20th year anniversary for Beat the Heat skateboard competition.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel old. I know I'm not old. I'm young and handsome looking, right? Oh, come on.
In our demographic, you're a whippersnapper.
But at this point, it's you know, when I hand this flyer out, they're like, "Oh my gosh, Medicine Hat Skateboard Association! You guys did that downtown cleanup. Oh, you guys raised, you did this bottle drive for this thing, or oh, you guys went to Mexico and did that humanitarian trip." And I'm like, oh, you feel the love, and you're like, "Hey, no pressure. I just wanted to come in and say hi. If you want to be a part of this, that's great, but we just want you to come down." And that's Medicine Hat, right?
And people, you know, people are interested in, initially when we started talking about this, we wanted to build something with community. And so the importance of that partnership and sponsorship is key to the success of Canada. It is one of the biggest parties in our community, and we're hoping that we can all come together and celebrate Canada. So, we need everybody. We've seen, from people wanting to be part of the skate park to the cultural side. And we've gotten together and said that we're going to work together to make sure that everything is successful. I mean, last year you should see it. I couldn't believe you guys did that when you did the river jump. And we were on the other side, and we had to get everybody from the other side to come. And there's guys on the other side of the skate park and the guys on the other side of the river, and just watching, you see little kids, families, and everybody was just having a good time. And it's I don't know, I've never seen youth that engaged in our community. And this is one event that brings everybody together. So having that support, that sponsorship is really key to the success of this, and we want to build it more.
It's one of those things where it's like, okay. And I do feel like it's like, okay, we're trying to just set an example of don't be complacent, don't sit idle, dream. And don't kid yourself. There are hoops to jump through when you're building a ramp across a creek, or when you're racing each other down a hill, or jumping through a hoop of fire. No, yeah, there's the literal hoops, and then there's the real hoops. There's, there's building connection with people at the city. There's building connection with, environmental groups to make that creek jump happen, right? But the reality is you just have to you have to dream bigger. The beautiful thing about Medicine Hat is you can be an innovator here.
That's
and
for
youth
sure.
are starting to see that now. They're starting to see that they can be something bigger, and that they can be a part of something bigger, and feel that sort of purpose, right? So
and I one of the great things that also happen that people don't see is the economic opportunities that happen on that Canada Day, on the on both sides, skate side, cultural side, on Canada Day. I mean, food trucks were selling out because some of them did not.
No, I don't think there was a food truck that didn't sell out.
They did not envision that kind of turnout. So it's a big party, and we're hoping more for this year, and we want everybody to have a win. We have lots of vendor opportunities as well, crafts, non-for-profits. We accommodate.
Getting the word out on what everybody's doing too,
Yeah.
right? Get in front of those faces so people know what you're doing.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
So we're trying to have everything for everybody, so that they want to be at Kimcooley. And hey, it's a nice place. I was just there last week with the Rise Up Balloon Festival and other events, and it's just nice to be at Kimcooley. You remember when we sat and we were like, this is a great place, and we just enjoyed sitting down and we were chatting after some of the events that took place there.
You know what is actually mind-blowing for me is, whether it's Spectrum or Rise Up or whatever, where most cities you would see these different festivals like ours and Spectrum and Rise Up, they would probably perceive each other as some sort of competition. But what I'm seeing more and more, I couldn't wish the best and want the best for these things. And there's this growing connectiveness that is happening right now, that where it's like we're all just like pushing to make each other's events better and better.
Yeah.
And that's the dream, right?
Yeah. And, the part of Medicine Hat that makes it such a great place to be is the volunteers.
Yes.
And maybe we should take 1 minute to talk about volunteer opportunities that you guys might have. This is going to come out, obviously, before the event. So if somebody's like, these guys got me riled up, I want to help and I want to be a part of this, how do they connect with you to say, I'm ready to volunteer?
It's a great question. So our social media, hit us up on the DMs in our social media. We have, if you check out our socials, we have email to contact, we have phone number to contact. Yeah, get a hold of us any way you can. We have the Canada Day Facebook page. And we also have if you want to talk to the skateboarders, you can talk to the skateboarders too. We'll talk to you. The Medicine Hat Skateboard Association socials. So give us a ring, give us a shout, throw us a DM, whatever it takes. We would love to have you. We would love to add you to our team.
A volunteer that's 14 or as long as their parents are okay that they're going to be able to volunteer. I'm sure you don't have to be an adult in order to volunteer.
Make it work.
Right?
We'll make it work. Yep.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, that's kind of part of the fun is, you know, now
Yeah.
we get to add to our family,
Yeah.
right?
No, we're definitely needing volunteers, and like Davey said, you can sign up on our website to CanadaDayMedicineHat.ca, I believe is the website.
If it's not, I'll correct it
if
in the
not,
show notes.
Yeah, thank you in the link. That would be great. And so, yeah, no, when you log in, there's actually an app that we would hook you up with, and they will communicate with you. And we're trying to really recruit. We need volunteers, and that's how this event works. And it's a great place to volunteer as well.
Well, at this point, it has grown organically to a point of where, yeah, it's we need all hands on deck kind of thing. Like, we didn't mean for this to happen.
No, that's
like, we didn't, I promise.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Where we envision as like, you know, a small party that we can manage, all of a sudden, boom, blow out, and many people started showing up, and more are coming. So, yeah.
Now, I want to talk about Canada Day because we haven't really like made it formally Canada Day yet.
Yes.
But so if we go to Canada Day, we have Beat the Heat. That's kind of, it starts fairly early in the day, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, everything from our beginners to our intermediate comp to, you know, we have our product comp, we have our normal open comp, we have a women's competition, we have a bowl competition, and don't forget we have like a big spectacle we do every year. And don't forget it's actually our 20th year anniversary.
Do you have
So-
something special going for that?
Uh-huh.
Are you going to, is it a surprise? So you have to show up if you want to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, just...
Prizes.
we're going to release a video soon and just, you know, hinting maybe at things. But the reality is we've, it's been maybe 7 years of doing like a big spectacle thing at the end of our competition every time. We had the Ring of Fire. We had the downhill race. We had the we had the Wall of Death, where, you know, you went up and you slapped a sticker.
Yeah.
We had the Creek Gap. So, you know, you can only imagine.
I'm going to predict a ring of drones that you have to shoot through.
Oh, my goodness.
We need her on our creative
Yeah, you
team.
need her. Don't give them more ideas. This
What
guy's
the
creative,
heck?
unimaginable.
I love it.
Yeah, no. Don't
Oh,
get
the
them going.
juices are flowing now. I like this.
Just when you think they're crazy enough, they come up with something.
Something else, yeah.
But we so on the cultural side, so in Canada, by Kincooley Band Shell there, we will start the morning with a yoga. So if anybody wants to show up at
little
8
zen.
o'clock, I believe.
Yeah, we might need to stretch a little bit before.
Exactly. So get in, if you want to stretch, come down, and at the same time, pancake breakfast starts with is it 9 to 11, I believe. So anyway, if not, we would post the right time.
Yeah.
And then there will be coffee there. Pancake breakfast was a huge success last year. And then, of course, the cultural stage starts. There's jump castles, food vendors,
Of course, you'll have your dignitaries there.
Yeah. And so there's so many activities during the day. I don't want to put people on the spot, but you might have some council members performing. We don't know. We'll find out.
Performing.
Does that mean
I don't know. We'll see.
is there going to be like the city council tuba players or kazoo? Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know, but we'll find
Maybe
out.
at a drum circle.
Stew on the kazoo?
Maybe.
All right. Well, you're giving us ideas. I'm gonna maybe submit a motion or something and see what happens.
Yeah. Well,
But,
as long as you have fun, that's the
We
important
have
part.
a creative council, and I would like people to see that. So anyway, they know who I'm talking to, but we'll figure it out. But it's gonna be a fun activity throughout the day. We have some sports. We're gonna have soccer, barefoot soccer at Kincooley. It's been a hit, and so all soccer players out there come out. There's information to put on your teams. Basketball,
3-on-3 tournament.
Yeah.
And it's like a 3-on-3 tournament.
I think
like I'm talking and one, baby. Like, let's go.
Right. So lots of sports activities, jump castles, in the park. There's something
So-
for everyone.
Big focus though. Free jump castles. Okay, this is family fun, and this is affordable fun. Like this has been a very central focus. This has always started from like sort of this grassroots kind of feel and movement of like we want everyone to feel welcome.
Yeah, and sometimes cost is a barrier for,
Huge.
especially if you've got young children and, you know, you're looking at formula and diapers and all these other things, and you can't go anywhere without a trunk full of things when you have a little one, right? And to be able to come to something like this where you can kind of find a shady spot in Kincooley and set up your picnic table, and maybe you can take the older kids to the bouncy castle.
Yes.
There's things to watch,
Everyone
things
is welcome.
to see.
Everyone, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now, in the evening, is there anything on Canada Day in the evening?
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
want to take that one?
So yeah, no, we're gonna have some incredible local bands. Am I name dropping today?
You're doing good. Keep going. If you name drop,
I could name drop, couldn't I?
I think so. Let's do it.
Here we go.
We can apologize. If
Oh
we
my
mix that.
gosh. This is it. Yeah, no, we're going to have incredible local bands. Local band like Jessica Babe and the Hey What's That, you know, like a pop, synthy kind of band, up and coming band, to, you know, The Accomplice, which they're an incredible cover band that, you know, I don't know, I think they might be doing like a CCR thing, which would be pretty spectacular. And then, of course, like people like Mahoney and Friends, who...
Fan favorites, right?
Well, it's a crowd favorite, but it's also one of those things where it's like, okay, I think I missed a couple of local bands. No worries, they're playing with Mahoney and Friends anyways.
That's right.
But incredible, the production level that Mahoney and Friends have been, you know, able to muster up every year, and you know, this year is special. This year is going to be very kind of like, you know, we're bringing it back to the 80s. We are truly bringing it back to the 80s.
I might have to get out my fluorescent pink and
get
lime
it
green. I had the
Yes,
Sun
please.
Ice coat, the Sun Ice coats, and the Sun Ice. It was like wind pants and toppers with fluorescent pink and green. So
that's good.
I'll see what I can find.
Yeah. Well, everybody should get that.
Who needs a glow stick, right? Well, guys, I wish you nothing but success. This is so exciting that you're doing all these things for our community, and it's going to be awesome to have that kickoff to summer with, you know, all these neat events and bringing people together. You know, that's really what Canada is about. We're not really a melting pot. We're more of a sharing what we have with one another.
like
So
it.
that's great that you guys are
That's
sort
so
of bringing
good.
that into
Can
Canada
I steal
Day.
that?
Sure.
Yeah, I like that.
Here at the porch, we share.
Okay.
Can I just give you a quick history lesson?
Sure.
Just, you know, honestly,
Go for it, go for
this is great. You know, it just came to me with what you just said. It's just like, none of this would happen once again without the community support, and the sponsorship, and you know, this all started around COVID time. You know, it all started with this small little dinky side stage that we threw up, and I think it was called like the Finanza Extravaganza Family, whatever. And and the reason we did this was, you know, right around COVID time, there was all those unmarked graves that were dug up, and a lot of people my age or younger, you know, they were just kind of like, oh, Canada Day? No way. You know, like it was kind of just like cancel Canada Day kind of thing. And I thought to myself, well, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
You know, the skateboard side of it was very, you know, like we weren't sure if we were going to keep our crowd. The Stampede had the contract to do the Canada Day festival, so we thought maybe we'd lose our crowd or whatever. We learned that we had our own crowd for our skateboard competition, but we decided with that side stage, you know, we were going to do things in the spirit of reconciliation, and we were going to do things based on the spirit of being able to give other cultures a platform to showcase what they're all about. And we have to remember that we are a very young country. We are a very young country made up of people of so many different walks of life. And that is actually truly the spirit of this whole 2-day festival.
Yeah. And it's funny because right now you're in the middle of the week. So as Canada Day gets closer to the weekend, maybe you can stretch that out to be 3 or 4 days, right? So again,
I don't know how
thinking outside the box.
Yeah, you're giving us
Well,
some
you're the boss,
incredible
so
ideas. Well, I hope some volunteers are listening out there, because that's how this is gonna work out. So
Yeah.
we only
Hey,
need 1,500 volunteers. No,
but I think, you know what, nothing is impossible. I mean, today I was at another event, and I was talking about, the community coming together, and if there's anything that I know, Medicine Hat knows how to do that. And so I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up going to a whole new level, because I know we live in a community that people are just ready to jump and help and support. So nothing is impossible with Medicine Hat, and I think we have something to prove here. We can do it. So
Awesome. Well, Davey and Yusuf, thank you for being
thank
on
you.
the porch. And we look forward to your event and having you back on for another neighborly conversation.
Nice, yeah. Hey, that porch, bring it back, y'all. Bring that porch back, okay? This has been awesome. This is so cool.
awesome.
Thank you.